Hello, and thank you so much for clicking and for watching this video. This is not an easy video to make. I'm just gonna speak from the heart. I'm not gonna script it. And to be honest, a lot of my videos, when I do reaction videos, they are reaction videos. So I don't script everything. How can you? You can't script a reaction because you want it to be natural. And I just want to talk about something that probably a lot of people didn't watch because it's a small channel, and you've got your loyal people that watch what you've done, and some people aren't aware of you. But the fact is, I like a lot of people. I could be I'm a very reactionary person. So when I'm watching football, I'll be watching the game and trying to assess what's going on, and something will happen, and immediately after I'll turn the camera on and give my point of view, my reaction. I try to be balanced, I try to be fair, but sometimes it's just in the heat of the moment. You'll a player will have done something, a player does something, and you're frustrated, and you can go in on that player a little bit, and then you can go away and you can watch bits of the game again, watch a certain goal, watch a foul, whatever, and go, maybe it was a little bit hard on that player. It's that's what you do anyway as a person. Like you say something, then, or at least I do. I say something and then I reflect on it and I go, yeah, actually that was a little bit. That wasn't the reason that this happened. And so, just a bit of context. So last night, United, very frustrated, made that video. Axel Tuanzebe comes on, he commits a foul, it's a free kick leads to the goal, and I'm saying, Tuanzebe, shit. And, because really, really, you're so frustrated and you're kind of lashing out a little bit. It's that outlet that you have when you're at the stadium and you put it on camera now. So on my part, I could look at some things I say and go, yeah, that's a little bit over the top. That's a little bit silly. But that's how you feel. And so I get up this morning and I'm reading that Twanzebe has been receiving, sort of racial abuse, and you're appalled, as you should be, because you're sort of thinking, well, um, I criticise a player based on something they've done or the way they perform. At no point do I ever look at the action of a player and use their skin colour, use their race, as an excuse to just go in on a player. I will go in on a player because of the performance or their actions on the pitch, and that's it. That's it. But unfortunately, social media is a reflection of society, and I think we all know this anyway. Unfortunately, social media is full of keyboard warriors. It's not always constructive. It's not banter, and there are some people that do just banter players and stuff. I've done it myself, and it's all a bit of good fun. But then when you step away, you have to think this is a person. This is a person just trying to do their job, and we all make mistakes. And of course, football, just like it is part. It's a sport, but it's part of the entertainment industry. So they're in the public eye and they get it more than any others. But I don't like being criticised, and I've been criticised, and we could talk about that another time when I used to do sort of a lot of performance. So I know what it's like. Obviously not on that level, but it this is not an easy conversation to have, and it shouldn't be, and it shouldn't be an easy thing to talk about. But unfortunately, um, every time these incidents happen, it is just another sad reflection of society, and we can have, and it's not just racism. This is what we're talking about now, but there are other things that happen, and we have these campaigns like, well, we have the Rainbow Laces campaign. We have Kick It Out, of course. We've had the players taking the knee, which I agree with. I think it's a good thing because it people are now aware, and it keeps it in the public consciousness. The public are aware of it, and I don't think it should go away anytime soon. Now, it's not about the organisation; it's about what taking the knee actually represents. when everyone is on the same page, and people have different feelings about that, and that's fine, and I'm happy to have a discussion about that. But as far as the racial abuse is concerned, like I say, it's not an easy thing to talk about. But I'd just like to know how people um, think this is okay. Why do you think it's okay to go in on a player because of the skin color, because of the race, because of a country of origin, whatever it might be? And we were always raised as kids by our parents that, they used to say, we all bleed the same blood, we all bleed the same blood. And my mum and dad, they would their frustration would be things like, how much tax you have to pay, or or a frustration with a politician. They would be frustrated with, the class and all these things, and that thing about, people get to the top based on who they know. Those were the things that that my mum and dad would tell us. Those are the things. It was never like, it was never you never bring it into the house that, oh, so and so's we have a problem because so and so is black, or so and so is Asian, or whatever your prejudice would be, because you do encounter them, and sadly, a lot of racism, it's casual racism, and I've witnessed it myself. I've witnessed it from people I've gone out with. I've witnessed it in jobs. I have witnessed it, so I know it's there, and I've never thought it's not there. And I think, as much we think we're progressing, we think that we live in a multicultural society, but sadly, you look on social media, and those attitudes are still there. They're still very much there, and I don't know. I don't know where we go from here, really, because you keep taking the knee, you can keep educating sort of kids, because I think actually adults shouldn't need educating. Like, if you're an adult, you shouldn't need that kind of education. Like, what I was thinking about, I've thought about this before, but particularly over the last few hours, I've thought, why? Like, what do you actually need educating on? Like, what do you need to be educated on? Why should you need an education to not be racist? Like, that's like, what are they talking about? Because with children, I think that it's really important, because they're in school. You might be encountering people with different skin color for the first time, and you might live in a household that maybe has casual racism, and so you need to have that education to just explain very basic things to you. Like I say, we all bleed the same blood. We're all just people at the end of the day. We're all just trying to get along. I could tell you now, I have no issue with what a bloke's doing at the end of my street. I couldn't care less what anyone's doing. As long as you're a good person, and you go about your lives, and you treat each other fairly. Your frustration should, like I say, should come with politicians. Get annoyed at politicians. Get annoyed at politicians. Get annoyed at what they're doing now. Ask questions of your local government. Ask questions of the government. Those are the people that you should focus your anger and your frustration on. Don't persecute the guy that's got a different skin colour. It's just colour. It means nothing. And to us, it's never meant anything. It means absolutely nothing. If somebody's got a different skin colour, and I know this sounds very simplistic and very basic, but it's the only way that I can sort of break it down. It does make me angry, and it does frustrate me that we now, particularly we live in a very society is divided, and it's always been divided. And maybe we haven't thought it's been this divided because we haven't had something that's been happening over the last year, happen. Certainly in most of our lifetimes. So now a lot of us are indoors, and all we're seeing is conflict. And and I just don't know where we go from here really, because and I definitely think that social media companies, they definitely need to start taking responsibility. I don't know how they do it. That's not on me. That's not on me. I don't work for Twitter. I don't work for Facebook. I don't work for Instagram. But they definitely need to do something. Because and it's too easy as well to just create a new account. It's too easy to just, you get suspended. Oh, create a new account. Creating fake accounts. Bringing people down, running people through the mud. And again, I haven't scripted this. I don't need to. So apologies if you feel like I'm not making sense. But I think I'm making sense. I think I'm making sense, and it should make you uncomfortable. But me feeling uncomfortable with the things that I read or the things that I see is nothing compared to what people have to go through every day. What Axel Tuanzebe will wake up to this morning, the abuse that he's received, and other players as well, of course. It's not just like it's today. It's been happening, for a long time now. And so these companies have to, take responsibility. And I don't buy into this idea where people say, well, you're taking away freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech. Yeah, I agree with freedom of speech. I do. But this is not freedom of speech. This is abuse. This is not about criticising a player in the heat of the moment for the performance. This is about people just laying into someone, using a mistake as an excuse. Now I can say, hand on my chest, hand on my heart, that I am a reflective person. I can be reactionary, but I can also reflect. So I can, like I said earlier on, I can think about something and I can go, yeah, why, yeah, come on now. It's not. There are other factors that went into that goal last night, and ultimately, even though ultimately it's a game of football that we all love. We all love our clubs. We all want them to do well. We all want to see the best of the game. But this is ugly. It's ugly and it's uncomfortable. And like I say, my discomfort is nothing in comparison to what somebody will have to go through on a regular basis. And nobody deserves that. So these companies do have to take responsibility. And I don't know what else can be done. I don't know how else we can combat this this ugly side of society. I could say, focus your energy, focus that hostility towards your local council, the government, people in power. People with power are the people that you should be frustrated with, because your average man on the street, your average woman on the street, your average person on the street doesn't have power. They don't have power, and it suits them for you to be focusing your attention on someone at the end of the street or a footballer that has a different skin colour. It plays into their hands because you're not focusing on the real issues and you're not focusing on the real problems. You're not focusing on the state of your streets. You're not focusing on the state of the NHS. You're focusing your energy on somebody's skin colour. And it's offensive, actually. I find that offensive, that you could put so much energy and so much hostility into abusing somebody based on skin color. I've got a skin color. It's just a color. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing to me. That it means nothing. But waking up this morning, like I say, reading that, hearing what's been going on social media again. Social media has a lot to answer for. It needs to take more responsibility. It's also, I believe, it is damaging for young people as well. Young people growing up in this world of social media, and they use it and they see this. So if you're a young kid, if you're a young lad, and you wake up in the morning and you go on social media and you click onto Axel Tuanzebe and you see all this abuse, that has an impact on you as well. So it doesn't just impact the person that's getting the abuse. It impacts other people as well. So very uncomfortable. conversation to have. It's a conversation that we need to keep having. And just going back to the education thing, you shouldn't. You think, well, right, okay, you educate children in school, let them know, as I say, very basic things. We all bleed blood. We're all the same. We all go to the same school. All that stuff. We've all got to work together. We've all got to be kind to each other. We've all got to be good. All that stuff might be simplistic to you and me, but to them, it's a big thing. And you have to try and then you're hoping that they will carry that through. That this generation will be, no, enough's enough, and it'll get better. But we all know there are structures, there are institutions in society where there are these sort of bigger issues, not just racism, sexism, homophobia, all that stuff. But then what concerns me with the education thing is that kids get a good education at school, but then they get home and they hear casual racism and they hear all this other stuff, and it's just like it's undone. It's like it's undone, and you see it now. I'm not going into all that side of things because I can't do that. But I've seen a lot of casual racism. I've seen quite like I don't even know how to phrase it. I've seen appalling things. I've heard appalling things, but me hearing appalling things and witnessing appalling things again is nothing in comparison to what somebody like Axel Tuanzebe will be going through this morning. So my thoughts are with him because he doesn't deserve that level of abuse. Criticising for his mistake, criticising for his performances, he's not immune from criticism in that respect, but you don't have a right to abuse a player based on skin colour. You don't have a right to abuse anyone based on skin colour, gender, sexual preference, any of that stuff. And it's not, and some people go, oh, it's political correctness gone mad. It's not. It's just very basic. It's very basic. You treat people how you want to be treated, and just because you've got anonymity doesn't give you the right to abuse people, to play these games, and it's cowardly, really, and it does make me uncomfortable, and it does make you angry. It does frustrate you, because we've all got a stake. We've all got a stake in society. We've all got to live together. We've all got to get on. And in 2021, to have to say that, to have to actually say it, to think, oh, we've all got to live together, so we've all got to get on. It's appalling. It's appalling, and I think there need to be serious consequences now for these people. I don't know how you completely ban someone from social media, but that needs to happen. And maybe people will get the message. Even if you ban people, you can't stop people thinking, unfortunately, because that's their mind, and that the mind will think what it wants, unfortunately. But we want to eradicate these attitudes. We want change. We don't want this on any basis. And that's all I've got to say, really. I'm sure I'll go away and I'll think of something else. But as I say, I don't script these kind of videos because I just like to react to and try and be as honest as I can. And it did make me sick. It does make you sick. And when you're talking about these things, you go into them sort of being quite calm, and you're trying to be fair and assess, and then you do get more angry because the more you think about it, the more you think, no, I'm not having this. I'm not having it. But that's just me. That's just how I feel, and how But send all your love. Send all your love to Axel Tuanzebe. Make him realise that he. It's hard to talk about. Just send him your love. Send him your love. Send him his well wishes. Make sure he's okay, because it must be mentally taxing. It must have take its mental toll on you when you get this level of abuse. But thank you so much for watching this video. I'll be back later with the reaction to the Liverpool and Manchester City game, but Until next time, thank you so much. Like I say, send your thoughts and your love to Axel Tuanzebe. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon.